everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon. I know I'm a little casual today, but I have a day filled with readings and things like that to do. But I felt it was very, very, very important that I come on live today and chat with you all for just a little while. So this is going to be a short live, but there have been some requests for some further information, especially considering everything that's going on. So I'm going to ask you guys, I'm actually going to let a couple of people know right now that I am live right now. So, anyone that can, please share it. This broadcast let folks know that I'm live, and afterwards the replay. Okay, so just want to thank you guys first of all for being here. Yes, it's not like I've been in a hole. I have literally seen what's been going on, of course, and thank you very much, Janet. Yesterday I did post a video of, I actually have like a home life, right? So I had my granddaughter's birthday party here yesterday, but I was watching a lot of things and I haven't had a good opportunity to put together some of what was going on right here in the Madison, Wisconsin area where I live. There was a lot happening. We had protests here. We had protests in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and joining in all the other protests. We've certainly had our share of issues, our share of, police misconduct, to put it mildly. And it was interesting to me as I was watching. I've been, monitoring Facebook. I've been monitoring Twitter, monitoring Instagram, and watching to see and reading what people are stating, okay, about the current situation, and about what this really means, why all this is bubbling up right now. And I've also been watching to see, it's very interesting to me how curtains are being pulled back and people are finally seeing that maybe everything is not exactly as what we've thought it was. Welcome, Connor. Share of issues. Yes, I'm putting it nicely. Right? I mean, certainly having grown up in Wisconsin, born and bred, and then I spent some time in Chicago and spent some time in the Modesto, California area, I have certainly seen my share of racial injustice and racial issues. And I have certainly, being a woman of a certain age, have seen how I've changed, how I've looked at these issues. And I've changed how I've looked at these events. And I've changed how I've looked at certain groups of people, whether or not they really had best interests at heart, humanity's best interests at heart, or not. And so it's changed. It's definitely become different. But we are seeing illusion, right? We're seeing not only illusion, but we're seeing people wake up to the illusion. And that's the astrology I want to get into today. This is most definitely a build up to July 4th. When I have more time, I'm going to produce a video that's going to talk about what that means. I completely agree with you, Connor. It does not matter what color we are. And I had to come to that realization as well. This was not meant to be a video about how I came to that realization, but I will tell you, there was a time where I could not stand Caucasian people. And my grandmother was Caucasian, through and through. English, French, a little bit of Irish. He forgot us. Hey, Janet. Hey, Casey. By the way, I didn't speak when you guys came in. So there was a time where I couldn't stand, we didn't want anything to do with. And that's a full, quarter of my heritage, eighth of my heritage, yes? So I had to come to this understanding that the color wasn't the issue. It's the third dimensional, I'll just say matrix for now, but it's the illusion of the third dimension that creates the situations that we're in right now, right? Third dimensional, that creates the reality that we're living in and that we've been living in. So it is a lot of delusion. Okay, so let's look at the astrology, because I do want to go to the astrology so we can understand the energies as they are, and not only understand the energies as they are, but I want us to pay attention to what's going to come next. This is today's current transit, okay, guys? Today's current transit. There's a few things I want to highlight, and there's a few things that people aren't highlighting. We all know about the Venus retrograde right here, right? We all know that Venus is in retrograde, and it's coming to within orb of the sun. As the sun moves closer and Venus moves further back, we're going to see a Venus eclipse over the next couple of days, and we need to talk about that too, because we're going to see not only a Venus eclipse, but on June the 5th, we're going to have a lunar eclipse. So you want to talk about some pretty crazy-ish happening at the moment? You want to talk about some crazy stuff? Wait a couple days until the moon comes into, it's going to take about 2 to 4 days, right? The moon's going to be right about here. X marks the spot, halfway through Sagittarius. Wait for that one. The lunar eclipse, and then also Venus eclipse happening just about the same time, within days of one another. It's not, I'm not trying to put anything out here to make people scared, but I want you all to understand the energies that are happening. So what people aren't talking about right now is the fact that Venus and the sun basically that Mars is squaring them both. When Mars in Pisces squares the sun and Venus in Gemini, there are a few things that happen as a relation to it. Normally, anyway, on a normal basis, Mars squaring the sun is already going to be like bam, 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 right? We're already going to have like, people are feeling more full of themselves, or people are feeling more aggressive. People are realizing that people are willing to now put out into the open how they've been feeling, right? Gemini rules intellect, thought. There is a sense of most all Geminis, if there is injustice that is occurring, Geminis cannot stand the injustice, right? Geminis cannot stand the injustice. Oh, thank you to the new member. Thank you very much. Thank you to the new member. Geminis cannot stand injustice. Geminis cannot stand to be lied on. Geminis cannot, right? Because if you tell a Gemini, well, I think you did da, 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 da. You know what that Gemini is going to do? That Gemini is going to be like, no, I did not. So kind of collectively, we're in this situation of, no, you don't have a right to do this. No, you don't have a right to do that. No, you don't have a right to not value life. Because that's where that Venus comes in, right? Venus is love. Venus is yourself, right? How do you love yourself? Venus is you wanting to have a sense of independence as well, and self-partnership. We want to have the ability to create. Hey, Miss Venus. We want to have the ability to create our own world. It is all the things that it's finding beauty in everything. Beauty in everything. And when that beauty is taken away from us, when we have the inability to create beauty for ourselves, when people are interfering in that ability to create beauty for ourselves, we feel disempowered. This happening in Gemini is saying you got to rethink who's holding you back. You have to rethink those relationships that you have that are holding you back. Right? You got to rethink all of that. You gotta. Not only that, Gemini, Venus in retrograde in Gemini also is kind of tapping into this Saturn in retrograde in Uranus energy here as well. It's getting ready to exit. So what are the structures on a global scale that are keeping humanity, you as an individual, and humanity as a whole? What are those structures that are keeping you from exercising all that is beautiful within your life? And you've been told all this time, holy crap, I can do this, I can do that, da 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 da. No, you can't. Because guess what? There is a group, a global, an oligarchy, whatever you want to call it. There is this system in the third dimensional that is holding you back and means to continue to hold you back. And means to keep putting you down. Means to keep taking your literal and esoterical, if you will, life away from you. Just as humanity is beginning to do this great awakening, just as people are starting to wake up to who they are as a true spirit, as a true being, not just this human existence. This is where we're all the same, right? We're all energy, we're all spirit. We all come from, most of us at least, from the same place. So, Venus in retrograde is highlighting who have we thought that we could really work with, and how have we believed in and allowed governmental structures and ruling structures, not just government in just the sense of who is elected or who rises to power, but in all senses, in our religion, right? In our own personal world, family, friends, what have you. Who are we still allowing to have rulership over us? Who we work for, all of these things, right? The institution, if you will. And right now, it's like, holy cannolis, no, we cannot. We can't continue to let this happen. So that's that, right? Now we're looking back, we're peeling, we're removing the veil. Hey, Jay. We're moving the veil back. Hey, 87 Sparker and Tracy and Gemini Princess. And so we're seeing this, and we've got Mars over here squaring it. It's challenging. Everything we thought was true is being challenged. Everything we thought was one thing on the surface is being made to be seen. Oops, it's not that. And I'm going to show you where that's happening as well. Everything is changing. Right? We need to take our personal power back. For some, with this Mars energy, that means protest, and for others, it could mean rioting. It could mean all of this pent-up rage that has been deep within of how the beauty has been stolen from not just us. Because I'm African American, and I'm also very much Native American, and I have a ton of Irish. So I got a lot of oppressed people running around, right? I'm no longer oppressed, but I have some historically oppressed people running around in my bloodstream. But now we're seeing how humanity globally, even those of you that may have had the luxury of some amount of privilege, are now have been seeing over the first few months of this year. You don't have that same privilege now, do you? Nothing is the same. Personal rights. Okay? Are we understanding this? But we're also able to see where groups or entities, oligarchies, ruling entities that we heretofore have not realized who was ruling it, who was really running it. Now it's being smack dab and put in our face. And I'm going to show you where that is. That is in my lovely, lovely Neptune in Pisces. Neptune in Pisces is also squaring Venus in retrograde in Gemini. Oh my. Neptune, the king of illusion. Neptune is also the king of dreams, but Neptune is the king of illusion. Neptune squaring off against Venus in retrograde in Pisces. Oh boy. Hello. What does that mean? What does that mean? That means that all those things that we put our value and beauty and found beauty in, all of those things, hey Cerisia, all of those things, all of those illusions are now coming into the forefront. They're now becoming a realization that we were disillusioned. And you know why they're coming into that realization? Because look at what's happening here. We have our same Neptune in Pisces is sextiling or in agreement with Pluto and Jupiter in retrograde. Sextiling Pluto and Jupiter in retrograde as they get ready to be conjunct again in Capricorn. See, before we had the South Node sitting in there and it was kind of like making everything all nice and everybody was playing nice in the sandbox. We don't have that anymore. No, we don't have that anymore. You know what we have now? We have the full brunt of personal transformation, and I have to take my territory back. What was once stolen from me, what was once kept from me, what was once told to me I couldn't have on a very foundational root chakra level, hey Wonder Woman, was taken from me, and now I can see how you've stolen my dreams. I can now see how you've stolen these things from me. I can now see how you have kept me under an illusion. Kept me under an illusion. And that's also these two lovely little beings right here are also quincunxing all of this up here, right? Venus in retrograde in the sun. And a quincunx is a confusion or a quandary, or I'm not sure. So you're being asked to look at things on a very personal, individual level for the purpose of transformation. What you may not have seen before, what you may have thought was right before, what you may have believed in before, guess what, babies? It ain't real. And now you're being shown it, and now you're being asked, what the heck am I going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Are you going to now believe now what your gut's been telling you? Are you going to believe now and say like, oh my gosh, the curtain has been pulled back. And what I thought I could have faith in, I can no longer. The curtain has been pulled back. I now recognize that I've got to go within and find not only the beauty within, but reach back in and take my power back. I got to reach back in and grab this. I got to reach back in, and now I have to, now I have to recreate everything that I thought was real, that I thought was true, that I thought maybe wasn't happening. And for some of us, we're like, oh, thank God, we've been trying to tell you all this time it's been happening. But now we're trying to find a way to how do we take our power back? And not only that, now we're recognizing that a lot of the very same people that were telling us, oh, we're all for you, oh, we're okay, oh, we care about you, are the same people that are just inciting and not really doing anything in reality to stop the injustice. Because it doesn't fit. The honest to goodness truth is a lot of us are realizing we're merely pawns. You can be a pawn on either side, but you're still a pawn. You could be a white pawn or a black pawn, but you are still a pawn in the game. So everybody is recognizing where we've been utilized as a pawn. And now we're like, we're not doing that anymore. Now we're becoming what's called a passed pawn. And a passed pawn in chess is a pawn that once it passes a certain place on the board becomes one of the most, if not the most powerful piece on the board. And why is that? I know a lot of you don't play chess, but let me explain something to you about a passed pawn. And for those of you that watched Westworld this year, you will appreciate the reference. A passed pawn, once it crosses a certain threshold on the board, can literally become any piece that the player desires for it to become. It could become a queen, which is the most powerful piece on the entire board. It is then allowed to transform itself, Pluto in retrograde, and take over Jupiter in retrograde. Yes? And change the dream. Change its identity. Become empowered. And then rule its world. So, in this astrology of illusion, why are we seeing all of this? Because we could see all of these. Passed, as in P-A-S-S-E-D, passed pawn. In other words, it's a pawn that got passed up from being captured on the board because it wasn't recognized for what it could potentially become. Yes, it was viewed on the board. Now this is my esoteric take on it. It was viewed on the board as inconsequential and powerless. But once it crosses a certain threshold, right? It becomes a passed pawn. You can pass me up and think that I am not powerful. You can pass me up and think that I don't know who I am. You can pass me up and try to keep me down. However, when I cross a certain threshold, when I come into an awakened state and realize who I am, you will realize that you've now let me in behind enemy lines, and I've now transformed myself into the most powerful, effective being that you could have ever imagined that you never wanted me to become. Are you hearing me this afternoon? The illusion is being demolished. The illusion is being demolished. Yes, the illusion is being demolished. Everything that can be torn down will be. This is not over by a long shot. Not over by a long shot. We do have Mercury that's moved into Cancer. Please don't forget that that's going to go into retrograde shortly here in June. So right now, Mercury is in Cancer, still saying, okay, let's get our house in order. Let's communicate about how our family is being affected. Let's communicate. Let's get it in order. Because it's about to go back. It's about to go into retrograde too. So I would advise you to get your house in order. This ain't over. And we're going to go through, hey, Leo Fire, hello, I said. We're going to go through more upheaval. Because please, let's not, any of us ever forget, we have Uranus sitting here in Taurus. Everything that can be upset and changed will. Everything on a personal foundational level, from how we earn our money, from how we look at our life, from who is in power over us, from who we allow to be in power over us, how we function on a day-to-day basis, technology, everything changing. That right now is sextiling Mercury. It is squaring Jupiter and Pluto in Jupiter and Pluto in Capricorn in retrograde, which means it is in complete agreement with, oh yeah, we're going to go back over here. We're going to review some things you might not have done. So we're going to dive into this a little deeper as the days go forward. I will put together some predictive astrology for you guys on this. It'll be loosely predictive, but it'll be predictive. Okay. I've been getting some downloads on that and some downloads on some other things. That there's a lot going on. Okay, a couple things, guys. Please do check out Leo Fire 555. He's been putting up some really cool daily readings and some very interesting content. Enjoy that very much. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you to all my members. I appreciate it. We're going to start that the members only is going to start ramping up. Guys, you could follow me at Heart of Inspiration, Heart of INSP on Instagram and Twitter. Go to my website, heartofinspiration.net. The memberships, the mentoring memberships are up now and ready to go. Mentoring memberships are up and ready to go. You could do a free membership. You can do paid memberships over there as well. If you can here, you can there, and just look at both and decide which fits you. We are on the move. We are on the move. I am here, light workers, to assist you in your spiritual awakening, in your growth, and for you to step into your power, for you to step into your life purpose. This is a safe place to have those discussions. So as we go forward and we're on the move, I appreciate all of you. I appreciate you all, because this is a big undertaking. 2020 is not going to be cute. You already thought it's not cute now. It ain't going to be cute for the rest of the year. So y'all might as well just get with that program. There ain't no point in thinking that, it's going to get on better. I mean, at the end of the day, what happens is going to get bad. It's going to be for the greatest good. You understand what I'm saying? However, we are going through labor pains. Hey, Sharon, we're going through labor pains. And as we go through labor pains, any woman that's born a child, any man that's been in a room where a woman was bearing a child, you know that it ain't cute, it ain't pretty. Now, some of y'all, this is for free. Some of y'all, you had them epidurals and you didn't feel nothing. Let me tell you something. Y'all get off easy. I love y'all, but y'all got off real easy, because that wasn't my experience. So we're birthing a new reality. We're birthing a new level. We're birthing the move. We're birthing a moment in time, or the next age. Y'all thought we were already in the age of Aquarius. We're just leading up to it. We're birthing it now. And as all of humanity begins to birth, right, this new reality, no longer are the illusions going to be allowed to exist that have been existing before. And those entities, those energies are not going to just give it up without a fight. They won't give it up without a fight. However, right? However, it's going to happen either way it goes. So there's no need to be scared. What we need to be is empowered. And we need to get on this train of learning how to create our realities quickly, guys. Really quickly. So that we are not tied to the third dimensional illusions of reality. All right, guys. Let me get Truth Seeker Aquarius. Lord have mercy. Yes. Yes, y'all are. Thank you, guys. It's so wonderful to see so many green badges here. We have 2 different types of memberships available here on the channel. And then please do go to heartofinspiration.net if you want more intensive membership, and there's also free membership there, so you're going to begin to see a lot more videos on heartofinspiration.net, even in the free membership membership section. Okay, so this is tremendous, and I'm so thankful for all of you guys. All right, we're gonna get on out of here. Okay, I'm gonna try to give you all some more videos later on today, if not tomorrow. Okay, peace, love, blessings, and joy be unto you today, tomorrow, and for all eternity. I love you guys so much. Namaste. Have a great day. Bye-bye.